Hey guys, sorry about that. This computer, that's why it took us a second. The computer, sorry about that. I got my phone in my hand. The computer I'm on is acting up today, so we were trying to get situated backstage. But, anyways, I hope you guys are having a good day today. How are you ladies today?
Doing well. Thanks for having us. It's going to be an interesting chat to go through some of this with you and everyone else. So, hey, everybody.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hello. Thanks for having me. Hi, chat. Hello, mods.
And thank you guys for coming. Surprise, by the way, I was going to add it to the title, but got sidetracked with the computer stuff. But yeah, so today, well, surprise, we have Amber and Kelly. But today, we're going to watch an interview that was done on TikTok that I screen recorded, and it is David Dotson's daughter and a TikTok creator who talks about the Summer Wells case. So if you guys are familiar with the case, you know who David Dotson is. But if you're not, he goes to the church. He was the one who when Summer went missing, he went and picked the boys up and took him, miniature golfing and stuff. And he did some interviews. And there's been a lot of questions around around him in general. So I thought it would be interesting for us to watch that. And I think Kelly's going to share her screen because my computer is acting up. But I was going to go over an article with you guys where, the TBI put out a statement, and I just might read that instead after. But I guess we'll just play it by ear. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah.
And hello to my chat. Sorry, you guys. I usually, read it instantly, but I guess I just got kind of thrown off with the computer acting up. But yeah. Let's see. I see your little computer right here. How do I do this?
I'm not sure because, I hit share screen. I don't know if you have to approve it or what.
Okay, let's see.
But it looks like on my end it's up, but I don't see, my screen up yet, if that makes sense. Okay. Like it's up on my end, but not the main. Oh, now I see it.
Okay.
I see it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, because this side, everything is just going so slow. I can't see it yet. I'm still looking at my intro.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
It's up on everyone else's end, so.
Okay, well, I got my phone in my hand, so I can just watch it from there, even where.
Okay. Yeah, and you can hear us in real time anyways, so I'm sure you'll be fine with the audio.
Okay, awesome. Hey, Wolfie. Hey, Sandy Beach. Hey, TJ. Okay, before we get started, I wanted to ask you guys, what did you think about the statement that TBI put out where they're they're saying, not that it's impossible that it was abduction, but they don't believe that that's it. And we can go through the wording later, but did you guys have any thoughts about that, or what do you guys think?
Go ahead, Amber.
Well, I think that they still haven't confirmed those footprints, so I'm still kind of not sold on the idea that there were footprints around. And when they say no evidence of abduction, I mean, it's just, to me, it's just not a possibility even in their minds that a random abduction occurred. Like nobody went up on the property who had never been there before and just, followed them or whatever. I think that they're just pretty much saying like that's just not, I don't know, there's just like no evidence of it. So I'm not buying into the footprints. But I don't know. It's like they kind of leave things open-ended where they're not showing all their cards. But at the same time, it's to the point now where I'm like, I don't even think they have anything solid. Like at first, I thought they were just protecting the investigation. But now I'm like, I really don't even think they have anything really solid to go by.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it for sure. What do you think, Kelly?
Yeah, I agree. It just seems like, I mean, she's just basically vanished. And I hope, obviously, that they have more and they can build a case against somebody if they were involved, etc. But yeah, just hearing, they're still open to the possibility that she wandered off. I don't feel like that's what happened. I feel like there would have been evidence of clothing or at this point, a body. But I don't know. I'm just really starting to worry that they're never going to make an arrest and that they're never going to find her. But
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, I obviously don't want that to be the outcome.
Right.
Yeah, me too. And you guys, there's been a lot of talk about the terrain, and I've been thinking about it a lot because I like around here, it's just the same. We're just a couple hours away and right in the mountains. And as a kid, I played out in the woods all the time, and I was trying to think like when that started, and I don't believe that I had like. When you're little, you don't have balance or agility or until I was like 7, 8 years old, I was climbing steep hills for sure by like 7 or 8. Before that, I don't see it. Now I could see an adult doing it, but her wandering off and down that hill, it is really steep. And for a 5-year-old, I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see how she could do it. I feel if she did, there would have to be evidence, like you said, Kelly, because think about it. She'd probably fall or, something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
You just start learning physics and the gravity and all that. So
yeah,
if
like how to hold your legs and, yeah.
right. So then it just leads you to wonder like why was her scent last smelled on that dog trail then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. It depends on how she was. She was obviously taken. Well, I guess not obviously because she could have been taken at any time. Like if she was taken by someone in the home, it could have been prior to them coming home. But or she could have been taken out that way by whoever got her or took her.
Right. And yeah, just the, logistics of the timing and if Summer, didn't know the person, I feel like, would she have gone willingly? I mean, nobody knows. But it just doesn't really add up to me that, again, some random person who doesn't know the property could come up there and abduct her. I still just feel like, regardless if the parents are directly involved and know exactly what happened to her, I can't say they do or they don't. But I feel strongly that they know more than they're telling about that day and about, their associates in general.
And that's the other thing is like if her scent was last smelled on that trail, that doesn't necessarily mean that she ever made it home that day.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that leaves things open so much because it's like, when was that scent last? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it
Like
could have
that
been any
doesn't give
day.
us anything really.
Yeah. Yep. Could have been any day. She could have maybe went with her brothers or something and they've been able to help her. But you really, when you're seeing the videos of the people that went recently, you can see it is really, really steep. And like, I don't know. I just think about Bentley, like he needs help still going up steps if there's too many and I just don't see it.
Yeah, my daughter is 6 and she's not very graceful, but
Yeah.
I know what you're saying with that in a young child.
Yeah. Do you think your daughter could do it?
No, I don't think she would get very far without having some type of injury.
Yeah.
And it was, we've seen more recent footage now because people have been and took footage, whatever. But remember in June, I mean, it was thick. The trees were thick. Everything was fully in bloom, growing. It wasn't bare like it is now. So
I don't know, you guys. I feel like you said it's kind of depressing because you start to feel like is there anything like is anything ever going to happen? But then I think about Barry Morphew and cases like that took so long to finally, or Lori Vallow. I think that took like forever. So
But then I start thinking about even John Benet Ram, like a lot of people, even including myself, are starting to compare this to that, even though this is a missing child and John Benet was found by her parents in the home. The thing that kind of stands out to me is the parents are kind of, in both cases, are some of the only, like, the last people to have seen the child, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's just like we never got any further, even with the body of John Benet. Like we don't even know where Summer is. And it's like the same stalemate. We don't know what happened. The parents aren't really saying much, you know what I mean? And what they are saying, they're just they're married. So they could just be solidifying their spouse's
Yeah,
word.
absolutely. Cher has an interesting comment, which, by the way, Cher, hadn't went back to Messenger, but I did tell her she was welcome to join us at anytime, on any case, but especially with Summer, you'd let me know.
Mhm.
Both of you guys know that too. But she says people need to look at June 14th instead of the 15th. Just saying, June 14th was a sacrifice new moon and all that. Interesting thought, in my opinion, but we don't have enough to prove the 15th. And then she says, Dawn talks a lot about zombies like Daybell, which is interesting because that makes, like, after crimes, a lot of times people will copycat things that they've heard or copycat, the whole crime in general. So I don't know. I don't know. The day before, but then we know that they went swimming and that video was taken, which I guess that could have really happened anytime because they weren't live posting it. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen people say that they don't think the events on the 15th even really happened. I mean, who knows? I just hope that, their phone data is going to help this case. Like what
Mhm.
text messages, who were they calling? What, the phone's going to tell us the time and the date that those videos were taken. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
curious, what they've found through that. I understand why we can't be told, but I'm curious for sure.
Right. But the problem also with the phone stuff is, like, just listening to, the H interview again, I've realized that, like, Candace was calling them, like, immediately, um, as far as, like, yeah, like, he said around 7:30, she called him to tell him, like, she went missing, so, like, all the phone data could still look correctly, like, according to their stories, but there's still instances that can happen in between these phone things lining like an accident
Mhm.
pretty much, like maybe everything they are saying did occur, but as soon as Candace gets to the point where it's like the picture of with the milk, like that kind of like things kind of started to crumble and fall apart like
Yeah.
around that story, like around that part of the story. And then when she gets home, to me, I feel like everything that the mother in this case has told us, like from the moment that they got home, is a lie.
And how long were they there? I mean, were they there 3 hours? Like the time, like when
Yeah,
that video was taken that you're talking about, everything kind of breaking apart. I think that was like three something, right before they got home, 3:09, or I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. 3:09, and they allegedly got home at
Mhm.
3:30. And
Mhm.
TBI has never confirmed Summer made it home. They've never been like, we 100% know Summer made it home. They've never
Mm,
Right.
confirmed she made it home. So I think she made it home. That's just my theory. I know a lot of people don't though. So
yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I
up in the air. I'm still it's like my stuff is changing all the time and it's like so many liars, but it's like why are they all lying?
mhm. Yeah, why? There's a motive for it.
Yeah, and I think these are sketchy people in general, probably doing a lot of
Yeah,
stuff they don't want people to find out about.
100%.
And that makes it probably so much harder to actually get the truth and get the story down because even if they don't
Exactly.
have anything to hide with the crime, they're still going to hide it.
Exactly. And there could be some culpability or liability or something that could lie on a lot of people, even if, like you said, they're not involved in the actual crime.
Yeah. Mm. Hey, Leave It to Beaver. Okay, well, I'm ready when you guys are. And, just you guys, anytime you hear or see something interesting that you want to comment on, you can pause it. And I know there's some parts that aren't really, so just whatever you want. And if I see something, then I'll let you guys know too.
Yeah, just tell me whenever you want me to pause it.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, let me know if you can hear it okay and everything in chat.
It's just hard to get everything in view.
From my understanding, there was a lot of people that was delivering food to them. Not just Robin, but Robin did ask Dad to deliver food to them. And so, my dad being a helpful guy, as he always is, he goes out of his way to help everybody. And so he delivered the food to him, and he came back home.
Perfect. And you never met Summer, but you did go to the Wells house, right?
I did, yes. I went there after she went missing, just because Dad and I, we were like just out in town that day, and he just asked if we could go by just to see how the kids were doing, how they were doing. Dad just wanted to check up on them. So we went over there, and I didn't really get out of the car or anything. I stayed in the car. So. Gotcha. And then, so give us your take on what you think could have transpired that day or to Summer in general. Like what I think happened to her?
Yeah.
I have my theories about what happened to her and like what could have gone down, but people expressing their theories on my dad and him being, torn through the mud and, just slandered. I don't want to put someone's name out there for them to be slandered and them ended up not having anything to do with that.
Okay, pause that.
Because,
okay, so what I was going to ask you guys, and I bet that would be awful if he was not involved at all. And we've seen a lot of this speculation. I mean, that would be hard. But what have you guys thought about David Dotson? Is there anything?
I honestly kind of was side-eyeing him at first, but overall, especially after this interview, I don't think David is involved. I still, though, I want to know why Candace, she couldn't get a hold of Robin, why call David? That's still one of my questions, but overall, I don't think he had anything to do with Summer's disappearance. He was newer to the town, the church. Yeah. But I'm open to anything. So,
yeah. I have to agree with CDT. At first, I'd never even paid much attention to him in the case for a while. I kind of was just focused on other things. And then I was like, wait, who is this flute playing guy? So then I just kind of like dug into like what some guy plays a flute for Summer every night. Like I had to know like what it was about. But after this interview, and then I heard he owned like a private plane and he was like a mortician. So of course I was kind of like, what? Like, who is this guy? But then after this interview and knowing that he really wasn't a part of that church long or really even a part of it, I don't think he ever even joined. So I'm kind of like, I think he was just kind of used as like a distraction. Like Candace, I think, called him because, and that's the other comparison in the John Bonet case is that they called friends over like during everything, like when they called the cops and stuff.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I almost feel like Candace might have been doing sort of the same thing. Like, let me get people around me that, they're good people. Obviously they're from the church that she knows. They're not like Allie,
Yeah.
And
it's weird that she calls the good people over, and then
yeah,
because she knows it's going to she's making an appearance to the, the officers or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And we have to remember how long Candace has kind of lived this lifestyle of shady behavior in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, psych, sound off, AK code. I agree. I think he tried to be nice and then he got a lot of backlash and got the heck out of Dodge. And I
Mhm.
also, okay, so he did the interview with Unmasked, and there's a lot of people in comments who think they caught him in a lie about bringing this food. So he was saying the night he went, when he was called that Summer was missing, he had to get the address because he hadn't been there before. And then later he was asked about the dogs, I think it was. And he says something like, well, when I've brought food over, they can't remember if he said they barked or didn't bark, whichever. But a lot of people are like, oh, he slipped. He had been there before. But the way I took it is he didn't lie. He was meaning bringing food after Summer went missing.
And
So I
then
just wanted to put that out there.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't see that. I need to go and watch that. I hadn't seen that. But I think like same as you, Amber, like I was not paying attention to him at all. It's like there's so many things to focus on in this, and things just like hit you upside the head. You're like, oh whoa, there's a whole nother like little world to go into and try to look into. But
Mhm.
I kind of agree with everything you guys said, actually. So one thing I do want to say though, in the chat, Looking Beyond says you'll be lucky if you can find another video of the pond. Most have been removed. So I did an interview with a friend of mine. She's now a friend of mine. Coat of Many Colors. She's in chat right now as Psych Sound Off, aka Coat. She is a local, and she actually went down there and videotaped for me, and all of that is in that interview. So if anybody is wants to see the pond again, you can go to that and find it. I could probably go to it and get the footage out and upload it if I needed to. And then Windswept Firefly, we're talking about David Dotson. So we're watching an interview with his daughter. She did with a TikToker who covers the Summer Wells case. And because he was a big there for a minute, like we said, he came out of nowhere and all of a sudden was this suspect and this shady character that people were looking into. So yeah, so that's it.
All right, I'll keep going.
Okay.
Like people are expressing their theories online about my dad, and you can see what it's doing to us.
Yep.
Like I do have my theory, but I'm not going to express it because I don't want to tear down somebody else and then ending up being innocent. So.
Right. Okay, so
I just want to say, it seems like David Dotson's daughter has somebody in mind. She mentioned, I don't want to say a name, and then she mentioned, I don't want to tear somebody down. So
yeah,
that always stood out to me, and I can understand her not giving her theory. But do you guys find that interesting? How she's saying somebody and a name?
I wish she would have said who. I would love to know who.
Right? Wouldn't you?
I wonder if she's scared of the person, which is why she didn't bother saying their name. Like if it's somebody that intimidates her.
Right.
Probably because this child is missing, so it's kind of scary.
if we can talk about Robin, maybe you've met her just a couple times. You don't really know her that well. If you could just touch on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Robin has always been kind to me. She's been decent to me, respectful. I did her hair one day, and I can't remember the exact day. It was during the summer, though.
Before Summer went missing.
Yes, before Summer went missing. And, I did her hair, and, we talked. She talked about her church. She talked about her family. She seems like a normal family person. She's very bubbly, I guess is the word to put it. She's very bubbly. She's always treated me kind, been very good to me. She'll message me from time to time just saying like, hey, how you doing? I tell her I'm doing good, and she keeps in contact with me. I guess it's because where my mom had passed 2 years ago, she's just she's making sure I'm okay. I'm a daughter without my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess she just keeps in contact with me.
Can you talk that?
Gotcha.
Thank you. That's sweet though. If you, that's pretty sweet though that she does kind of try to look out for. And I do question if Robin is really just a very good, genuine person, and she's kind of awkward and ditzy, or what. And I would love to get you guys' opinion. But before, let me say thank you so much to Leave It to Bieber. And she says another interesting point: the day Summer went missing, John Clyde Daniels in Dixon, Tennessee, his dad testified about a couch being in front of a door very similar to Summer. And Kelly, weren't you following that really close?
I followed it, but not very closely. But I do, remember the dad saying that. And then they never found Joe Clyde Daniels' body, but dad confessed to it and then recanted the confession. I still have questions about how exactly all of it happened. But yeah, that's interesting. It's a good catch.
Yeah, that is a good catch. What do you guys think about Robin and her like bubbly personality and kind of, checking in on this girl because she's a girl without her mom, like she said? That's sweet to me. But what do y'all think?
Do you want me to go, Amber, or do you want to go first?
You can go ahead.
Okay. So at first, I thought Robin was just, and I still, again, my mind is not made up on anybody or anything in this case 100%. But at first, I did not look at Robin. I thought she just was very nice and kind of ditzy, bubbly, but I don't know. As this has gone on, I'm starting to kind of have some questions and wondering if maybe some of Robin's personality she puts forth is kind of a facade. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen or met her, enough to really judge her. I just know some of the things I've been hearing, like with the red truck, she goes on and wants to defend herself on the Wells' YouTube channel. It's just,
yeah,
I don't know. I do sometimes kind of question her and who she really is.
Yeah. Amber?
Yeah. Well, everyone around the child is a person of interest. So that's just how we have to look at everybody. And David Dotson, I feel, is marked off my list. Robin still kind of like lingers for me, but at first I had no like bad feelings about her, but then certain things kind of stand out to me. But then I heard another theory, and I mean, this is just a theory, somebody's opinion who she mods for my channel, but we had talked about our feelings on Robin, and I kind of was interested in this theory is that she's surrounded herself closely with Candace and the case right now. And again, this is just speculation and opinion, but solely because she wants the reward money. Like she wants to be the one to kind of get the tip that, gets that reward money.
Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't even thought about it like that.
Same. And that's why I was like, wait, what? And then I'm like, wow, I mean,
Okay, well, listen. Okay, so when the people went, they weren't protesting, but I guess people assumed they might. And another creator, Benny Keys, went down there, and I think a couple other creators. Well, while they were at Dawn and Candace's house, they took a picture, and Robin was there, and so I was watching. They were. I think it was Benny. He was explaining, like in that moment. I saw a clip of him explaining what was happening in that moment, and he says, they were all down there and we were all riled up and it was stressful, and then Robin came out from the basement and we said a prayer, and then we took that picture. And I was like, wait, Robin's hanging out up there and hiding in the like, I don't know, weird. I have just, to me that was kind of odd, but I don't know.
That is odd. That she came out from the basement. I don't like that. That's just how I feel. I didn't like that picture either.
Yeah.
But
I just never thought about the reward money and how people might be after that. Like, because, I mean, obviously, we just want to know what happened to this little girl. And now somebody brings that to my radar. And now it's like, now I got to wonder, like, who is trying to get close to that? It's sad.
It's a lot of money. What's it at? Like 70-some thousand right now?
Yeah.
And I think that it's like a reward, even if you give like a tip that's fines or whatever. Like it's not just, you
Yeah,
find
that
her.
leads to her. Yeah. Okay, my last thought, real quick on Robin, is maybe she does think Dawn and Candace are involved at this point, and maybe she's, trying to stay on their good side. I mean, maybe she's scared of if she were to, not stand by their side or not defend them. There's, maybe she's just defending them to try to stay on their good side in hopes that maybe that will help find Summer. I don't know, kind of keep them talking, keep them,
Right.
close or whatever.
Or somebody threw out the idea she was working for TBI.
Right. Interesting.
Well, if the Seventh-day Adventist, which they say it is similar to the Jehovah's Witness, and then, when you hear of stories of them, when someone in the church say they've committed a crime, if they come forward in church and admit it and repent, usually the rest of them will not tell. It's it's kind of kept between God, the church, and that worked out that way. They won't call authorities. So, anything's possible, really.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm ready. You can press play.
All right.
You guys are ready.
Yeah.
She's always on to me, respectful, just a good person to me, honestly.
Gotcha. Okay, so I highlights because they liked it. Okay, and then let me read some of these comments here. I might be out of screen right now, but let me see. Okay, so there's a lot of people that are asking if you're comfortable answering this question. I'm not sure, but do you know Timmy? And what are your thoughts on him?
I do not know a Timmy.
Okay.
Never met a Timmy.
Okay. So she does not, I'm sure you guys can hear this, but just making sure she does not know the Timmy in the videos. I posted a video with a guy named Timmy. That's why they're asking.
I was about to ask Timmy because I've never met him.
She's probably sitting over here like, who the heck is Timmy if you don't know who Timmy is? So yeah, that's what that is. So she doesn't know him. So let me go through a few more of these. So everyone says you're very down to earth out of everyone they've seen do interviews regarding the case. And let's see. They want to know, how long did he go to the church?
I honestly couldn't tell you. Maybe a month, maybe like 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. And that's what everyone pretty much knows it to be. So it was very short.
Yeah, it was very short. I was honestly working a lot. I wasn't at home. My days were just crammed together around that time. I had my life going. Like, my dad lived with me at the time, but I was always working, and he was always out, like, doing his thing. I will say he was very involved with the church, like the car washes, the prayer circles, the prayer drive-through that.
And it would make sense if he was unemployed and had a lot of time on his hands to want to occupy it with people, nice people, or people in general.
Exactly. And like I said, especially where my mom passed, it's sad because this is his first year actually getting back out, trying to, my mom passed 2 years ago.
I know, I read that.
Yeah, it was very hard on our family, like very hard. And my dad finally got, the courage, the strength to just get back out there in town, even if it just meant driving to the store, spending some time outside of the home. So he meets this nice lady and she invites him to church. He gets into a church and then this happens,
Right.
So my dad was very involved with the church, like the prayer circles, the car washes they do, the prayer drive-thrus, all the events they had. I think they had a couple of bake sales, I want to say. And
for someone who's lonely, it's definitely somewhere where you would find attention because it definitely pulls you in. Let's just put it like that.
Exactly.
I think that's the best way to sum it up for them.
Yeah,
they want your life to be the church, and if you don't have a life or you're not really doing anything at the time, it's a good way to occupy that because they want you there all the time.
exactly. Like he was out, I can't remember like what all he was doing, but every time I would ask him, I'm like, hey, what are you doing now? He's like, oh, I'm going to the prayer circle. I'm going to the prayer drive-through. I'm going to this. It was always the group events with the church.
Right.
Like the church always had something going on, especially, with it being, summertime, they had a lot of activities going on and
Right.
everything. So he was always busy, which, I just thought like, oh, okay, it's good. He's getting out,
Of course.
not home all the time. He's not, he's not wallowing in the grievance of losing my mom, because they were married for like 31 or 32 years,
I read all that online. I've researched all that, and when I saw people talking about your mom, I'm like, she's unfortunately no longer even with us. Can you shut up?
Exactly. And that's what got me talking online, was because people were stealing my mom's photos, and I'm like, okay, hold on, I gotta get involved in this.
Right.
This is my mom, like.
Exactly, of course. And it's just useless stuff and YouTube views, basically, using a poor person to get views,
Yeah, like
so people are saying, wow, and that's heartbreaking. And so he knows Timmy, not her, because Timmy leads many. Okay, so someone is saying because Timmy was at a ton of the prayer circles.
Okay.
And so they're saying because your dad was there, maybe he would know Timmy or something, but you never went to any of the prayer circles. So you wouldn't. That's how she wouldn't know. So yes, her dad may know, but she personally doesn't. So she can't really speak on it.
I'm not really a religious person, so I don't go to a lot of churches or anything. The only time I went to the church was the church threw Dad an engagement party, and that's the only time I went there. And then
Robin's church.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they threw together an engagement party, and they had cake and food and stuff. And I just went, because it was my dad's engagement party.
So your dad was actually engaged prior to leaving the church.
I honestly, I can't remember.
That's cool.
I want to say.
I'd be curious to know when that was.
But they really love each other.
Okay, sorry, say that again.
Just I'd be curious to know when that was that he got engaged and everything, because he wasn't there very long. But one thing, since you paused it, what did you say at the beginning? You heard, I have an awful headache, so I'm like half with it. But that he had a plane or something like that. But then she says he's unemployed.
I had heard that he owned a private plane,
Okay.
but I don't know if that was true.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's all. Unless you guys have something.
No. I just want to real quick. I think it's very interesting how she mentions Robin is who brought David into the church. So it's not like David went there on his own accord per se. He met Robin at the dentist and she invited him and he went.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
No, not like.
No, I thought that was one of you saying no. What did I do?
No, I'm trying to put a timeline together. I'm not worried about if they knew each other 2 days or 3 days. No, I'm just trying to say he was still at the church when he was engaged.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
To the other church,
Which is a synagogue, right? I think. I don't know because I personally don't know all the religious specifics, but it is Jewish. Can we confirm that, right? We saw the wedding. Yeah.
Yes, it is Jewish.
Okay. So whatever that may be, me or her are not 100%, but it is completely different religion. We can say that.
Yes.
It's her religion? Is it hers?
Yes.
Yeah. So he has to, in order to have married her, he would have to have conformed to that, I believe.
I believe so. Like I said, I'm not an expert on religion.
I don't know either, but I think, and that would be why he would have to attend a synagogue, I think, before you can. The rabbi has to do certain things. I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah,
I think there's certain things like that. So
all I know is he goes to church with her. So that's all I know.
I don't think it's called church, but let's.
Well, something like he goes to a religious place.
Gathering. There we go.
Yes.
A religious building.
Yes.
So let me read and see what else other people are asking here. Give me a second. Okay, so they said that's a long time to be married. Congratulations on that. And then let me go up here. You seem very sweet and genuine, they're saying. Someone said, I bet it's been a tough one for you. So sorry about the loss of your mom and all your stress.
Thank you.
And how often did Summer go up on stage with Robin? So I don't know how often she went on stage with Robin. I don't think you do either because you never went.
No.
Do you know anything about the Cornbread Mafia?
I watched the Dr. Phil episode. I have never heard of that.
I know it's out of Kentucky.
Yeah, I live about 2 hours from Kentucky.
Yeah, it's a distance.
Yeah, it's a long way. Even before Dr. Phil, I've never heard of it. Like,
I had heard of it previously, but like I'm a big like docuseries, like History Channel buff, but like I dispelled it really quickly because not only is it out of Kentucky, it deals with the green leaf stuff, which is not really the preferred substance of choice in Tennessee, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
You can
that kind of lets you keep your teeth. The stuff they like, you don't keep your teeth. Okay, let's lay it down. There we go.
Unfortunately, there is a lot of that over there or over here. I don't talk to anybody that is involved in that.
We're not going to go there, actually. Yeah. We're not going to touch that subject. So let's move on. We're not going there.
Yeah,
we're not going there. So
excuse me. So I don't like the way that the cornbread, like, from the time that it was mentioned, they never meant specifically the Cornbread Mafia. They actually said, even when they mentioned it, they really meant just any sort of organized crime taking part, like in the, in those kind of areas, hillbilly organized crime. But it's like the media, and just because it sounds strange and the headlines would, they're clickable, and it became this big story, and it was, I believe, made into something it was never even meant to be. They were just saying organized crime. I wish the lady doing the interview would have kind of touched on that, because I feel like that's misleading to the people, watching, because they could be involved in organized crime, and it's probably, they don't call it that, or maybe they're not, but I don't know. I just felt like that was something I wanted to mention here, because and also the Cornbread Mafia actually did start because of marijuana, but I'm sure they deal with everything. That was like when it originated.
Yeah.
So, but that's it.
I see what you're saying, because, I know about the Cornbread Mafia. My actually know someone who was involved in it, and he went to prison and then was pardoned. But, it was out of Kentucky, and they really only dealt with marijuana. But, I kind of see what you're saying, Allie. Like, when that came up, it seemed like it was more like a Cornbread Mafia type thing. Not saying the Cornbread Mafia did something this summer, but like you said, organized crime. Could it possibly have been an organized crime that you guys, And I think that that's possible. I think like trafficking is possible in this case. Don mentioned it many times at the beginning that he thinks it could be trafficking, and that Candace puts her photos on Facebook. She was dancing in front of the for sale barrel. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, but churches, like, that kind of stuff happens, and churches are a good place to find victims. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. And she was kind of front and center, and
the parents, are kind of, not judging them, of course, but lower means and things like that. So I just feel like it is possible you know, that
Yeah. Then we have him telling Cher about the $50,000 thing. And then another interesting thing is her head was shaved. And, you know, I know that if it was lice, they probably would have shaved the boys too. That's because I go back and forth with that. And the boys I know were shaved at a different time, but when this happened, they weren't. But it's just interesting. And I saw someone else point this out maybe on TikTok. Her head was shaved, but yet the pictures that they gave to police to look for her all had her long hair, you know? So
Right. It's like, why would they do that? It's like if you don't want her found, then you would give an old photo. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you give them a one with her
yeah.
head shaved? Like, do you
And they
not
had
want
them.
her found, or?
We know they had them, so I don't know. That's just weird to me.
Yeah, like for me, with the pictures, like how Don said that about Candace, I almost feel like Candace was, of course, this is just opinion, speculation, got to make that clear, but possibly selling pictures of Summer to people.
It's very possible.
Yeah, you just never know. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys remember when he did that interview with the first one that Candace did, and he was mentioning her being like locked in a basement and not being able to get outside, like almost it's creepy, like you almost knew that, or I don't know. And I'm not saying that's true, you know, I'm just speculating here. But
Okay. And the first reports were that Summer was 4 years old. It's like, was that just an error in communication, or did either Dawn or Candace tell them she was 4 years old? Like, I wonder what they first told the police, and I still am anxious for those 911 calls.
yeah, that is so weird. And I've wondered about that too. The 4 and 5, like, did they forget? Or if Don called, you know, he doesn't know, he doesn't remember that kind of stuff. And we know he was, they say they both called, but I don't know. Sometimes we hear it was just Dawn. But detective says her details are wrong too. She has to be closer to 4 feet tall. That's a huge difference. Now I've questioned that myself because I remember vividly one of my first memories as a little one in kindergarten getting measured, and I was 3'9" in kindergarten. And you know, they were saying she was only 3 foot, and I was thinking, dang, she's little, but I don't know.
And she doesn't look that short.
Yeah, she looks average to her age. It's just they don't know because, I mean, remember on Molly Golightly's live, they didn't even know her birthday. So that's why I feel like they got the birthday wrong. They don't even know what the heck's going on with their own kids.
Sad.
Yep. Very sad.
Okay, well, whenever you
How many different
sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, okay, whenever you guys are ready.
Okay.
religions did he practice? Did he switch religions often? So they want to know, is this the first time he's converted religions, or? Yeah, I figured. So guys, he did it to marry the girl. That you have to do it to marry the person if they're a very Orthodox Jewish person. Point blank. That's it. You have to accept and convert.
I mean, honestly, we were Baptist for a long time.
Which I saw Tennessee has a ton of Baptist church.
Yes, it's the Bible Belt over here. There's a lot of Baptist. There is more religions over here than what I'm used to, because where we grew up in Texas, we lived in a small town in Texas, and we mainly had Baptist, and then we had like a Methodist church, and I think maybe one Catholic. But I always grew up in a Baptist church. That's just what my parents grew up in. That's what I grew up in. It's what my grandparents grew up in. But, my dad, I don't think he, converted to
he accepted it.
At the Seventh-day Adventist. He didn't convert to it. He went there. Because his lifestyle didn't really change while he was going there. Now, with the church he's at next, I believe he did convert. Like I said, I don't know that much about it. But he's basically still the same guy, same religious beliefs, just a different religion, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So when you said when he went to Seventh-day Adventist church, he didn't really change his lifestyle, did the people there, other people there, seem to change after being there for a while?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay,
I can't speak on other people because I didn't know them that well.
Gotcha. Yeah, because you didn't really go there.
I mean, he went there. But no, I didn't.
Right, you didn't go there, so firsthand you don't know.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I've met them that one time I went, but like, I mean, they seem like normal people, you know, like they didn't make me feel uncomfortable in any way. But my dad, he didn't change. You know, he was involved in the activities they have, but he came home still the same right. Dude. You know, like.
And then, so this person here is asking, did you know Jackie Dobbs?
Mm-hmm. No. I've seen that going around. I don't know him.
I don't know much on him either. I know he lived on the property, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I haven't really even seen him.
Jackie Dobbs never lived on the property, right? Just to clear that up. He was like going to try to buy it or something and it fell through.
I was confused with that too, yeah.
There was like some property battle or something. Amanda Vita knows for sure. She's in chat, I think.
Yeah.
I've seen things here and here, but I haven't really seen anything concrete to tell me anything about him.
Yeah, his name just started going around. I don't know him.
I don't know anything about him either. And someone said, do you know a Kimberly Alexander?
Yes.
Okay, well, they said hi.
Hi.
And can you delete your comment, please, Kimberly? You hear me? Not for any personal reasons whatsoever. We're just not trying to use any names right now. But she does say hi, so your buddy is out there looking for you, so that's kind of cool. Okay.
Okay, so I wanted to pause it. So people are saying he does own property there. Jackie Dobbs does. So.
Okay. He absolutely does own property there. Interesting.
See, I had thought it had fallen through, so thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so they're asking, I'm just coming in, who is this female to Summer? So they're asking, who are you to Summer? And you are, I'll let you describe who you...
I'm David Dotson's daughter.
Okay. All right, there we go. I didn't know if you wanted, so...
Yeah.
All right, and then, okay, so another person says, does she think Summer is alive, or does she think someone is hiding her? If you want to answer that. If not, we can move to the next question.
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
This case is very confusing. Like, from the start till now is so confusing. I honestly don't know what to believe. The only thing I hope for is that Summer is safe and is found soon and back home.
Good answer. Good answer. I think that's what we all want, right?
Yes.
And then let's see here. So someone is saying, what have the younger people said they feel happened to Summer in the area? So I think she's saying, what are like the younger 20s and teenagers and, you know, kids thinking or saying or talking? What's the word on the street?
Honestly, there is not a lot of people talking about it over here. They're not, I mean, they're talking about it. They're more concerned with where she is instead of like what happened to her.
So a lot of people thinking where she is, meaning that they're kind of thinking she's alive somewhere?
Yes, I believe that is all what we are hoping for. Like I said, I don't want to speak on everybody here. Of course. Different opinions.
What are kids your age saying? What are like your group of friends? Sorry, my hair is itching my eyes. What are your group of friends thinking, or your age peers thinking?
Let's see. I've had I discussed it with one friend. She does believe the unfortunate has happened. Just where it is getting cold, it has been 6 months. She hasn't said, like, oh, I think this is what happened to her, but I have a friend here who says that she believes the unfortunate has happened.
Oh, right.
That's really the only thing I've heard.
Right. And it's either way at this point.
Yeah.
No one really knows. Okay. Let me look real quick here. Okay, guys, so we have, my clock says 11 on the dot. We have 5 more minutes, and then she has to go. All right, so we're going to read a few more things. Hold on.
I think that ended it in the fast.
Yeah.
It says someone on YouTube is restreaming.
Oh yeah, they were being live streamed while they were live. So it's interesting that even the locals don't. Well, first let me say Amber had to go. Did you see her comment?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I'm glad that she joined us. I love it. Like, I'm so thankful to be able to sit here and throw ideas around with you guys. Yeah, I love it. So I'm so thankful that she came in. I'm thankful that you did and that you played it for us, which is really awesome. So thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, thanks for recording it for everybody.
So, and I can send you that, like, if you want to read, like, you have the thing, but I wasn't planning on making the thing public, but I could, I guess. I just didn't know. But anyways, I was also gonna say that it's interesting that she says, like, they're not really talking about it like that. They're just talking about where she could be. And it's people that know the people involved still don't know what to think about it. They're kind of mind boggled like we are.
Right. I'm just putting the name of the TikToker in chat. I copy and pasted her name.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I had done, I think, a short video where I shared a couple of her videos from her TikTok, and if you're on TikTok, definitely go check her out. She finds a lot of stuff that, like, she's really good. I like her. She finds some interesting stuff.
She does. I do think she definitely seems suspicious of Robin. And again, like you said, it's interesting to hear from this girl because she obviously is David Dotson's daughter. David Dotson is the one Candace called when she couldn't get a hold of Robin. He was there. He took the boys to mini golf. So David was, close to the family, knew Robin, knew the church. So it just is interesting how, like she was saying, most people are wondering, where she is more than what happened. It's almost like the town and even her seemed like they possibly have a theory. Even her, I don't want to say a name. It's somebody, and she wouldn't say the name, but it just makes you really think, like, what she's thinking, the town is thinking.
Oh, it does seem like that. And I think I could, like, if I could guess, I could be wrong, but it seems like they're thinking, like we've talked about, possible could be legal adoption, could be many things like that. Maybe, I don't know if they're thinking she's still alive somewhere. But Amanda says, I think she sensationalizes too much. That could be true. I could see where you're saying that, where you get that. I don't know. She noticed things that I didn't really notice, like, in that way. So I like to get, like, the perspective of all kinds of different people because we all kind of pick up on our own things, I'm really suspicious of Robin, though, Kelly. I'm suspicious of a lot of people involved, and I don't believe it's some big group of people working together. That I don't believe. I don't think that they could be that good to keep it all off record.
Right.
I don't know. Are you suspicious of Robin?
I would like to know more about her and her past. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Speaking of that, Coat of Many Colors, I think her mom used to work with Robin, and she put in the chat because someone had mentioned, I think she used to be into drugs, and she said her ex-husband was into drugs. So, but for me, when you hear her messages with Cher and stuff like that, she just seems like really naive. And if her ex-husband was into drugs, she must like it. I don't know. It's just those two things don't really align. You either get street smart somehow from being around it and having to, or I don't know. That's weird to me.
Right. And I still just would like to know what her motive is for staying so close to the Wells. Does she truly believe, they know nothing? Is she there for support, or is she kind of keeping them close for other reasons? But yeah, I hadn't heard that Benny said Robin came up out of the basement. So does that mean she was just kind of hanging out down there?
Well,
I'm
thinking that she was, so he was saying they were kind of shook up because they weren't protesters, but at the time they assumed, I guess, that they were going to be protesting or coming on or something. So they were all kind of shaken up over that. So I'm wondering if she didn't go hide down there.
Right.
Because he went down the hill or whatever. But yeah, like to think of them all hanging out together in that house, which is like not the way I would picture Robin living for sure. I'm not saying she seems like super rich or anything, but she just seems like she would keep like a clean house. And, it's weird to think of her just like chilling down there hanging out.
It is. I agree. And it's just like, why? Like, does she really believe in their innocence and she's being a good friend, a good, support for them? I just wonder why. It's odd. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah. Or what if they've like told her, like, even if they told the church or told a couple people in there that an accident happened or something, the church would support them. They would not turn their back on them. So
Right.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And one other thing I wanted to mention before we go, which this was so much fun. I loved this. Thank you for playing that, because it was going to be a slow process on this one. But I lost my train of thought. Let me think. It was another suspect that I had, I think. Or hold on, give me just a second to think about it.
You're fine. And someone said Robin was near the Wells' house during the CM interview also, right? You see her in the background when they're near the watering hole. And it's just, again, look into true crime cases. Again, women can be involved. Women commit crimes, women organize crimes, etc. And a lot of people who are involved stay close to the investigation.
That is so true. They say like they'll help you search for them and everything. And oh my gosh. See, I've always wondered like if it was some kind of open adoption or something, but I did remember what I was thinking. So, Amanda earlier had mentioned Grandis leaving and how that was still suspicious and she couldn't get, basically is what she said. And that is something I can't get past either. Like, you are one of the, for one, you're, I believe the only person that was there but when both things happened, because a lot of people say that Candace had moved a year prior, which I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't have that evidence to back that up. That's just what I've read. But then your daughter's daughter goes missing, a tragedy that you have lived through yourself, and you leave. That's your like, I don't know. Something so weird to me. Hold on, let's see. She says Alex, you can share with CDT. Hold on, I might have missed it because I wasn't looking at the chat for a second.
But no, I mean, I agree about Grandis. Because it always, when, someone goes missing, a child, adult, whoever, you always look, who was the last person to see them, what was happening when they went missing. And we have 2 adults who were allegedly present when Summer went missing, and who, Grandis allegedly stayed sitting on the step outside of her camper. Candace walked Summer to the door. And yet we have not heard one word from Grandma. She leaves. She's back now, smiling. She wasn't smiling in that picture, but she was in that picture, and still hasn't, given an interview or a plea for her granddaughter.
Yeah.
Well, did an interview, but it was like off camera, and they typed up a statement. That's it.
Yeah. Well, when Coat of Many Colors remember she had met her at the prayer vigil, and she said it was just like an evil feeling. It was very weird. And then I reached out to her myself and asked her, if you would you like to talk, would you be willing to talk to me, and if there's any way that I can help at all, anything that I can do, let me know. And she writes back like, I can't talk right now, thank you though, I love my grandbabies very much, or with all my heart, something like that, short and sweet. But she did answer, and she did say how much she loved them. So I don't know.
And remember, H also mentioned in his interview, I have to go back to my notes, but even when Chris asked H what he thinks happened, I'm pretty sure he answered, well, grandmas are mean or something like that. I don't know. I'm not saying, it's like, who is this grandma character? We don't know much about her.
Yeah.
And
he does say that. It's so, I don't know.
Just out of place.
This comment is interesting. They got home around 3 p.m. Candace was changing her Facebook profile and cover photos and uploaded photos of the day's events at 6:06 p.m. And she did delete that, I remember, but they say that tells me she wasn't even aware Summer was missing at 6:06 p.m. She did upload a photo to Facebook or change a photo. I remember when this happened, and then she deleted it.
Yeah, she changed her profile picture. So yeah, that's a good point. And that would mean she maybe wasn't aware at 6:06 or 6:09, whatever it was. But then we have Don. He has 5:30 in his head. Don Wells has 5:30 in his head about when Candace called him. He says that quite a few times, and sometimes he'll kind of backtrack and be like, oh, it was maybe, then someone will say, well, this 911 call is 6:30, and he kind of corrects himself. But I just have questions about the whole timeline.
I've heard that. That's weird. So, and then that makes you think, okay, what if something happened and she called Dawn first, a while before they called 911? But then again, why would she be uploading to Facebook? So I don't know. I just don't know. Genia says, question, why was Robin calling Don B several times and she told him that CW wasn't being honest about the basement door locked or unlocked? Go watch Everyday Shenanigans, Big Angie, 2 hours on Robin's Church. Okay, I'll check it out. All I know is that the Summer's living arrangements were just so heartbreaking. It's so sad to think of a little precious baby having to live in that place. And I've mentioned before, with him doing construction, he could have fixed her up something really cute, or at least cuter and nicer, for a really low cost. I mean, just for a little bit of supplies, paint, a little bit of wood or something. It wouldn't take much.
Yeah, I agree.
The scream happened between 4:30 and 4:43.
But see, okay, Jody Sue, she's a whole nother character in this, who I have watched her, but there is so much material out there with, interviews with Jody Sue and things she has said on different channels. And I'm the first to admit I have not kept up with everything from her. But I remember when she mentioned the scream, and she was on a news show. And then Sheriff Lawson says that scream it's unfounded. So it's like, I don't know. It's just interesting that Lawson is saying the scream. I guess obviously it can't be proved, but it just makes me wonder, do they not trust Jody Sue? Or
how would you know unless you were there, buddy?
Right. Why not just say, well, yeah, she says we heard a scream, we can't prove that either way. He acts like he's discounting that scream, and I'm like, why? Like, how can you completely discount what she's saying unless you maybe know more? I don't know.
I don't know either. There's just so much, Oh, thank you, Amanda. Merry Christmas, Alex. Thank you for maintaining Summer in the forefront. Thank you so much. And thank you for doing that as well. And, for all the other cases that you talk about too. I think that we, it doesn't matter. People can say what they want. I know, like you, Kelly, Amber, Amanda, now Coat of Many Colors, we haven't been to these these places, but we put our heart and soul into it to the point where it keeps you up at night, and I'm thankful that there are like some really good people out there that care about these kids, because they need somebody standing up for them. I mean, some of them, look at the freaking people around them, like they obviously need somebody to stand up for them. So
yeah. And then real quick, someone in chat said, yeah, where did it go? Yeah, the kids reported the scream also, and they did. In that news interview, they also interviewed, I guess it's her son, and he said it was like I can't remember, but didn't he say like an animalistic or like primal
Yep.
type of scream? And he looked, I mean, why would he go on national TV and lie? Like, I just don't see what their motive would be, Jody Sue and her kids, to lie about that.
Yep, I saw that, and that just gave me the worst feeling in my, like, I have clips of it, and I swear I've put it somewhere, or maybe I was going to and didn't, but yeah, you guys could find it probably on YouTube if you just type in "neighbor hears scream Summer Wells" and find the one that's done by the local news. They have a YouTube channel, and listen to that, because that's what he says. I think, like you said, animalistic, but it sounded horrific, and they did not seem like you said, why are even these kids, what motive do they have? And if their mom's like, you better lie about this, I mean, and they're pretty good at it, because
We're a lot of stress on our feet. It's no wonder they ache. Introducing March Fit from Skechers.
Okay.
I was gonna try, I think I have it if you want me to pull it up.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I had to go get some aspirin while we were watching that. My head is so,
Oh no, I'm sorry.
But aspirin works fast. I think it's already starting to work a little bit. Oh, I can send it to you again if you need it. Thank you, Amanda. Well, let's see if Kelly has it, and then we can just watch it real quick before we go.
Yeah, because I don't think it's long. I'm just looking through, or if Amanda wants to send it, if she can get to it faster than I can. But I'm looking right now.
Yeah, beautiful KS. Jody Sue's kids, they're like teenagers.
Mm-hmm. Have you watched a lot of Jody Sue's stuff? Like, do you?
Nope.
Follow her?
We should do it, though. We should find some stuff that we could watch in the future together, and on here and not on here, and try to look into that some, because I don't know much about her either. Just really that news interview.
Yeah. I thought I had it, but I'm not seeing it. Let's see if it's on my playlist. They heard a truck door close, Amanda said.
Let's see if I can find it too real quick. Just by doing it.
Yeah, the sun.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, yay.
I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
It's 3 minutes, so.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't too long. Okay, someone said her son is 19. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Thank you, Amanda and Allie. We got it.
19, okay.
Amanda's so fast.
Lives across the street from a neighbor.
All right, let's share the screen. Thanks, Amanda.
Yes,
all right. Just let me know once I'm watching too. I have it shared. I don't know.
Okay, let's see. I can see you on this side, but only like before it took a second.
Yeah.
Okay, it should be like.
Okay, it's coming up. I see it now.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
On mirroring mountains together, they can be described as sentinels, which sit high over Ben Hill Road. The night Summer went missing, the neighbor swears that she and her 2 children heard a scream shortly before they joined the search for a now missing Summer Wells.
It's there, but you want to forget.
On the watch and hypervigilant. That's how Jody Sue Brown was the very day Summer Wells went missing.
There's no TV, no noise at all.
Jody Sue was in her cabin with her teenage kids, 19 and 14, waiting for anything.
We were kind of hyper alert because of property things that had happened the day before. So we were listening for noise. Everything was kind of quiet.
The sale brought a plethora of people to their door, confused about which piece of land was for sale, leading to a dispute of property lines.
While we were out at one point doing survey lines, and there was a flash of a car that went up Candace and Donnie's driveway, something about it struck me wrong.
She and her family next heard a truck door slamming and dismissed it as their neighbors. The next sound was harder to justify. About an hour and a half before Summer is thought to go missing, Jody Sue, her son, and her daughter heard something far more suspicious. A scream.
Stopped all three of us cold.
Her daughter was the first to go to the cabin door. Then all three were there, listening still.
We heard just this kind of shrill, almost animalistic scream.
Animalistic, but not an animal.
Knew it was, wrong. It wasn't a dog. It wasn't an animal.
That vigilance kicking into overdrive. Jody Sue and her son went out to look for the source of the scream.
My son and I decided to go out, look and see what we could see. We went back onto the bank. Didn't see anything. Didn't hear anything.
They went on with their evening. The kids returned to being kids. Jody Sue headed down her driveway around 6 to tend to flowers.
And at this point, I start hearing Candace hollering for Summer. And then my brain immediately went, scream earlier, this, uh-oh.
Jody Sue was the first to hear those calls and the first to join the search for Summer.
I dropped my purse. I tried to yell up at Candace. I was like, I'm looking, and I started looking.
Jody Sue searched one side of a creek, Summer's brothers the opposite side.
And you gave statements to the police, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Jody Sue had been interviewed many times by investigators, bringing up the scream often. But the sheriff doesn't believe the scream is related to the disappearance of Summer Wells.
She's been interviewed numerous times by not only my agency, but the TBI and the FBI, and we don't find anything with that complaint or information related to this case.
Jody Sue wishes she could go back to just a short time before Summer disappeared and before the scream she believes was Summer.
Wish every day that when I heard that scream, I hadn't tried to dismiss it.
Referencing the work of the FBI, TBI, and his own deputies, Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson reiterated in an interview the same week as Jody Sue's that investigators have found absolutely no proof that an abduction has taken place in the Beach Creek community. Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
So,
why does he think... Ronnie Lawson, how do you know?
I know.
We've interviewed her several times and we don't think it's related. We think it was a scream of some other, somebody else. I mean,
yeah, it makes you wonder, why they ruled it out, basically.
Amanda says when she helped look for Summer, she says she walked into the creek so she wouldn't throw off the dog's scent too. I don't know. There's just so much. Ronnie Lawson has been linked to being Dawn's cousin. Found that sus. Ooh, okay. Well, I know he's been linked, some say, to the church as well, which I've always found weird. There's just so much to this. I mean, you think that maybe it couldn't be multiple people, but then again, 5 minutes later, I'm thinking, well, what if it is? I just don't know.
Yeah.
A for Advocate, we went through, Amber was here too, and we went through the interview, an interview that was done on TikTok with the daughter of David Dotson. He is a member of Dawn's church. He's the one who took the kids for miniature golf and stuff when Summer went missing, and he's been a suspect in some ways, in circles. Some circles say that. But so we just went through that interview and then kind of just talking about the other things that have recently come out, and that's about it. That's really all. I was going to go through those articles and stuff, but where the computer's acting up, I think we could just end it there.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that you did that for me. Thank you, Kelly. That was a lot of fun too. I enjoyed, of course it's not fun, talking and hearing about this stuff, but also it's interesting, and it is, for me, it's just something that, you know what I mean? It's not fun, but it is fun. It was a good time hanging out with you guys and chatting and stuff, and hanging out with the chat too.
Yeah, agree. And like I said, I learn things from chat, pick up things, and I just appreciate everybody chatting, and it really is helpful when you're, into true crime and really have your heart and mind stuck on a case to go back through these things and talk it through with other people who, know the case or find interest in it also. So I appreciate you having me, and thanks to everyone in the chat.
You notice things like I notice things you may not notice, and things like that. So it does. It helps a lot. So thank you for coming, and thank you chat for coming. And I guess it'll probably take me a second to get off there, but I'm gonna hit end broadcast, and then I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks again.
Thank you, Kelly. Bye, guys. Thank you, Amanda, for putting her stats in there. I usually have a banner on with it. Call the end with the number. Did you have that? If anyone has any information, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.